Okay, I have a feeling I'm probably gonna end up making a part 2 for this later on because I simply don't have enough time to get into it. But I did want to break one thing. I think that so when so in the Super Bowl, so Maroon 5 said yes, we'll do it. Big Boy said yes, I'll do it. Then when they actually went to do the performance, the songs they played would make the perfect anti-police brutality protest songs. Maroon 5 also said beforehand, the guy from Maroon 5 said, we're going to speak with the music and we'll do a social justice thing with the music. So then he leads with the song, Harder to Breathe. I'm going to get back to that later, but I think they chose songs that would double as anti-police brutality and anti-white supremacy protest anthems and hoped that the press would notice, and the press didn't notice. But I can't tell because maybe that's just my inference. But I think leading with Hard to Breathe is a little obvious. 260 Wellesley is going to get their power and water cut again for 12 hours. The Toyota Hilux, I want to do a little piece about it. The military automotive history of the Hilux as the car of choice for irregular forces. But I'll talk about that later. I'll make a part 2. So Toronto is thawing, but there's a whole bunch of ice flows on the rivers and stuff. So it's a weird time to be out and about if you're near the rivers. Check that out. But Magnetic North is on the move. If your location devices and stuff have been on the fritz, it's because the North Pole is drifting so far out, it's actually messing with like compasses and stuff. The CBC News reports the Saskatchewan Premier is not concerned with cabinet ministers attending Yellow Vest rallies. Canada is going to get, our Air Force is going to get our own drones, finally. We figured out which ones we want, apparently. A man in London, Ontario was struck and killed with an arrow. Northern London. 12 a.m. on Tuesday morning, CTV News reported on this. No arrests have been made. I'll follow up on that story. So the Toronto Star and other press outlets still whinging about social media's effect on teens. It's so dangerous. They don't want teens using social media to talk to each other. It's in BC, it is so mega cold. The Daily Hive reports this ferry going from Bella Bella to Bella Coola got completely frozen over. And Narcity, and I haven't watched this yet, but Narcity has run a piece about said Toronto cyclist nearly gets run down by a driver simply for being a polite Canadian. I'll have to check that out. There's just not enough time for all the news. Anyway, the National Post reports smoking a small amount of pot may boost sperm and testosterone. Surprise researchers find. And yeah, there's a bunch of interesting news out, but I want everybody to see how they feel about this situation with the Super Bowl musicians, because I think they might have pulled a fast one on everyone, and it's just taking a while for public to catch on, because it seems like they're talking about them being bare-chested and stuff, but it's like, to me, even that's like a reference to the southern states and how the like white supremacy and police brutality situation is an extreme problem there. So it's time to end this. To be continued. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and stay tuned.